Hey, what's up, riders? Lucas Brunelle here coming at you. And a lot of you have been asking me about my diet. So I'm going to tell you. I've been going this many years, decades, fast, safe, and I've been doing it pretty much on the keto diet. So what keto is it's basically a diet where it is low in carbs and low in sugar, but it is high in protein, it's high in fiber, very important, and it's also high in good fat. Good fat sustains you. It really keeps you going. So I feel awesome on keto, and my energy's even, and let's get into it. So to summarize, today I'm going to talk about the 3 benefits of keto in terms of cycling. 3 main benefits are more speed, more energy, and less inflammation. Inflammation is the enemy. So look at Chris Froome, okay? He lost 20 pounds. He feels great on that diet, and he flies. He went down 20 pounds. That's not the typical weight loss for keto. Well, for some people it is. It depends what you're, starting at. But I've seen it all over the board. The average is about 10 pounds. That's something that is a given. That's the average. So if you lose 10 pounds, think about that. Think about what you would have to spend on your equipment in order to shed 10 pounds. So Chris Froome, he increased his power to weight ratio by 10%. You see, you can be a huge rider with big muscles, but if you're too heavy, it's no good. You're not going to be fast. Power to weight ratio. If you weigh too much, you're not going to be fast. You're not going to be quick or nimble, and you're not going to be as safe on the road. So, one of the great things about keto is how you start the day. For example, this is a typical breakfast right here that I'm doing. This is basically eggs, and they're not cooked too much because you don't want to wreck the nutrients in the yolks, and hummus, and we've also got garlic, which is raw. Try not to cook the garlic. You can mask it. It is gnarly to eat raw garlic, but if you mask it with some hummus, some pesto, whatever, it's fine. Garlic is an garlic kills viruses. Hate garlic. Garlic kills all kinds of viruses. So anyway, avocado, very fatty, but avocado is something that is super good for you. It's omega-3 fat. So a breakfast like this, maybe you have steak with this instead of salmon one morning, or chicken, whatever. But a breakfast like this is really going to set the stage for you being able to have even energy throughout the day, and being able to have stable supply of ketones, being on keto diet, and you're not going to feel hungry because you have a high fat meal. But let me tell you something about this diet, okay, and about taking care of your body. You'll be the only kid on the block who can do something like this, okay? And a move like this, coming into Key Biscayne, I love this entry. I love doing this. Flying, airborne, literally, okay? So you're airborne because you're so light, you're quick, you're nimble, and this feeling is just amazing. And when you lose 10 pounds, 15 pounds, there's things that you can do on the bike that you never thought of. Yes, a move like this is going to take experience in terms of being able to bunny hop and to do wheel, to be able to manage the bike correctly. I understand that, but you're going to get there if you want to get to this point, if you want to do stuff like this, which I think is just amazing because you can choose your own line, and you're a lot safer being able to choose your own line than having the line dictated by pavement, right? So who needs roads? So anyways, this is something that you can do when you're a lighter weight rider, and when you're staying fit, when you're consistent. The big thing is consistency. That's huge with me, is consistency. All right, what about the second part of this talk? What about the more energy part that I was telling you about, okay? So those of you that know me, you know that I've got a whole lot of energy any part of the day. And so it is consistent energy. And the thing is, what you realize, when you commit to a diet, it might not be keto. The thing is honestly, choose the diet that's best for you. But as I said, as far as the diets, I've had 2 different nutritionists. I've been to the Olympic Training Center. I've had a lot of experience with this. I've researched this myself. over the decades. And, it really does, for me, come down to this diet that is high in good fats and doesn't have the carbs and sugar. I mean, when you're on this diet, what you're going to realize is that you don't have to eat junk food, and you're not going to, and you're not going to nibble, you're not going to, like, with nervous energy, have this habit of eating food that's bad. And even eating, food that's good, but too much of it is bad as well. I mean, you're going to spike your insulin. That's a big premise of the keto, is the fact that your insulin spikes because your blood sugar goes up. And so the insulin's job is to bring the blood sugar down. And so what happens is, when you bring the blood sugar down, you bring your energy down. You have uneven energy. You're like this. So, and when that happens, you want more sugar, you want more carbs. And so you do that. And then eventually your body becomes insulin resistant, And so when your body becomes insulin resistant, that's very bad for your energy source and for your gut and for your weight and everything else. So, for riding, this energy, it's an even paced energy, and it's an energy that, is not up and down. Not eating the junk food will actually become second nature. So, there are certain foods, certain chips, things that, I used to like. But honestly, it's become second nature, because the feeling that you get from the energy from this good diet, there's nothing quite like it. When you're on a group ride, I mean, you can choose. You can choose between eating, the refined carbs and, sugars and things like that. Or you can take and, you can eat something, fruit, something healthy, and you can stay, hydrate. Even a lot of the energy drinks out there, they have a ton of sugar in them. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then they have synthetic vitamin, like vitamin water. They might as well call it synthetic vitamin water, honestly. So when you commit to a diet, I mean, if you commit to, the Mediterranean diet, or being vegetarian, or whatever the heck the diet is, or paleo, the thing about committing to diet is that what happens is you become a lot more aware of the foods that you're intaking and your surroundings and options in order to get good foods. So, pick the diet that is right for you as an individual. As usual, that's the most important part of this video, is what you choose, and stick to that consistently, because, the rewards are just amazing. I mean, I'll tell you, in the third quarter of my life, at 50, I mean, the rewards, it's something that is just the best investment ever. One of the big things that will help your energy a lot is not listening to your body telling you that, it wants that ice cream or that candy apple or, something like that. I mean, don't listen to your blood sugar telling you what you want, because yeah, you can have low blood sugar and then you can see something tempting and, you can have this huge cinnamon roll or something like that and, have another sugar crash, have more and then have another crash. So, resist that temptation of, oh, what do I feel like having? Honestly, because you're a lot better off your mind, your intelligence, thin slicing, deciding instantly, this is what I need. So something, natural, some lettuce, some salad, something simple. Not to mention the fact that sugar and carbs, they also destroy testosterone. We're doing this hurricane ride. This is a ride that I wouldn't be able to do if I didn't have proper fat on board, and when I say fat, I mean good fat. I don't mean, the kind of fat you go to Burger King, or you get lard and, or processed fat or something like that, or soy. I'm talking about fat from fish, fat from, the eggs, fat from salmon, from avocado, things like that, from nuts. And so because of the fact that, the meals are so satisfying, so fulfilling for me, what happens is I can go long periods without eating, even though I'm thin as a rail. I go out on this hurricane. I got really good footage for you guys, on this Hurricane Irma ride with Adrian, because of the fact that I was able to basically sustain myself and not, have to pull over for food or have to, down space food like a gel or something like that and get sugar and, keep going again, whatever. So, I mean, it's just logistically easier too when you're riding, where you don't have to take sugar with you. or carb, you can often go quite a ways without having to refuel. So less fuel stops during a ride. Very nice. Obviously, I do like to eat on a ride. I mean, eating on a ride is one of the pleasures. I mean, here, this isn't typically what I eat on a ride, but, it was kind of a prank. But seriously, it is nice once in a while to gorge on a ride. I understand that. That's one of the pleasures. It's one of the awesome rewards. So I get it, and I do it. And again, you can break keto, you can do that. And you can, get back into it. But how do you know that your diet is working? How do you know that, your keto diet is working? Well, I'll tell you, what's going to happen is you're going to have more energy. You're not going to be starving. You're not going to have these like starving fits. And so, but most importantly, as a cyclist, you're going to recover a lot quicker because of the fact that you're not going to have inflammation caused by the sugar and the carbs in the body metabolizing those and spiking insulin. Insulin causes a lot of inflammation. So you're not going to have that. And so being on low carb and low sugar diet is going to help you recover a lot quicker. All right, part 3, final part, inflammation. Okay, this is a big one. This is a bad one. Inflammation sucks, let me tell you. Because when you're inflamed, you're sitting there, right? You're behind like a few riders and you're pedaling like hell. You're going like your head down and you're aching. And these other riders, they're breaking the wind. And you're like similar fitness. Maybe you're on the same team as they are, but your muscles are inflamed. Your body's inflamed. And so when you eat a lot of sugar and you eat a lot of carbs, what happens is that takes adrenaline for the body to process that, to spike insulin, to get rid of the sugar. And so your body becomes very inflamed. And when that happens, it really stunts your recovery. It really gets in the way of recovery in a big way. And so you're slow, and being slow sucks. This is a crit that we did midday. It was hot as hell that day and, feeling really good doing it. So low carb, low sugar diet in the heat, it's great. You're lightweight in the heat. You feel awesome. And midday sun in Miami, no problem at all. But, know that potassium, I eat about 8 cups of vegetables a day of salad. So different colors too, of beets and carrots and onions and lettuce and, and then radishes and some of the, parsley, more bitter vegetables as well. They're very good for you. And obviously the garlic. The thing about that is if you eat a lot of vegetables, then that's potassium, okay? I know people that do keto and they don't eat enough vegetables, and so they don't have enough potassium. So if you don't have potassium, that's going to be very bad. Your muscles are not going to be able to recover correctly without the potassium. Even if you need to do this, okay? Here we are, we're just eating salad straight out of the thing. Honestly, doing something like this is better than having, a prepackaged space food of Kit Kats or of, Power Bars or Energy or Cliff, but, whatever the heck it is. Those are sugary, those have carbs, some worse than others, but the thing is, even if it's something simple, just get vegetables like this. You can do a more elaborate meal like this. This is a popular recovery meal for me. So a lot of greens, salmon, extra pesto, perfect. Resist the temptation. Okay, I'm recovering. I just did this awesome ride. I feel really healthy. Of going, and picking out on, junk food, on dessert, stuff like that. Here's a summary of things that cause inflammation and foods that do not cause inflammation. Inflammation to the athlete is like static is to the computer. This is a climb, Key Biscayne. This is something that sometimes is fun doing. We're hammering up right now and, feeling really good. And this is after 2 hard days, of me doing rides for many miles in other places. So again, the recovery is something that is related to the diet. So it is almost dinner time. And so I will conclude with this: more speed, more energy, and less inflammation. Live fast, ride fast, and die last.